I don't know if your audience is here yet, but I've always been a super fan of yours, what you've built, and more importantly, how you continue to build and help people and be of service to people. Just a huge fan of empire builders like yourself.
Appreciate it, my man. It's great to see you. It looked like you guys had a great time on that big ass boat out in the south of France.
Yeah, we did, man. We had a great time. After it's the first 5 days, I have to it takes me about 5 or 6 days recording stuff. I'd love to know from your audience in the chat, if they can chat, how many of you it takes you more than a couple, 3 days to even get into the vacation? Like it takes me 5 full days to even like finally be able to vacation. It's unfortunate, but
Awesome. Well, hey, well, look, hey, if you need, let us know in the chat if you guys can hear us, if you're excited about being here. We've got a great conversation that we're going to have with all of you guys listening in. Look, we are in trying times. There's a lot of stuff going on. There is just a lot of drama. We're in a political election season. The Olympics are going on. We've got an economy that for many people it's bad, but for the people that are smart, it's a great opportunity. So we've got some thoughts that we want to share with all of you. And I want to start off by saying it's been it's been awesome getting a chance to follow Grant Cardone for many years. Matter of fact, we spent some time together at a couple of different events. We brought him in and he spoke at our company's Legal Shield conference a few years back. And I can just tell you guys that whether it's sell or be sold, whether it's just the 10X rule, whether it's getting on some of his webinars, just following Grant on social media, you become who you hang around. Your associations are working on you, whether you know it or not. You hang out with 5 broke friends, you're bound to be the 6th one. You hang around 5 millionaires, you're bound to be the 6th one. If they drink, you'll drink. If they smoke, you'll smoke. If they curse, you'll curse. If they go to church, you go to church. That's just the law. It's not the idea of associations. It's the law of associations.
yeah.
So I wanted to level up my life and I wanted to get around people like Grant Cardone. Look, you may not like Brian Carruthers. You may not like, Grant Cardone. You might not like the way
everybody likes Grant. Come on.
everybody likes Grant. You might not like the sound of Jim Rohn's voice until one day you do. Like when I started listening to Jim Rohn years ago, I'm like, God, I can't listen to this guy. And now he's like a lullaby, so Grant, let's jump right in, man. Look, I guess I'm going to throw some questions by you, and maybe you can.
Let me just help you 1 second. I'm not in a rush either, so it's cool.
Okay.
I just spend as much time with you I can and the audience. I brought up the chat, and everybody's saying the chat's disabled, so my bad. I shouldn't have brought that up, but I can see you guys in the Q&A. So if you have questions there, we'll try to try to accommodate you guys over there.
Perfect. Yeah. Chat is in the web meetings. We're in a webinar, so it's Q&A over here. I'm in a different world right now. I'm always in web meetings. I thought that here's the thing with these Zoom web meetings, when you got 500 people that are on and people are picking their nose and they're getting changed in front of the camera. I'm like, I want you all to focus on what Grant and I can bring and not have to have all the distractions. And so that's why we're doing a webinar tonight. We're going to max out at 500 here, which obviously we're right there. There's going to be thousands of people that are going to be getting access to this after the fact. So we want to really bring in some value. Thank you so much for bringing this time to us, Grant. And I've got friends of mine. I've given you multiple 6-figure checks, but it was for investing. It was not to buy your time. But I've got friends of mine that spent $100,000 at a clip to get some time with you. Yeah. So
I saw a video recently of one guy that doesn't like me because I think he's just jealous, but talking about me, and another guy watching him talk about me. And then they both decide to decide whatever to not like me. Like, I don't even know that, like, I've never even met these people, but they're talking about how much I charge somebody to work with them. And the second guy saying to the first guy, well, I would do it for free. And I'm watching this, somebody sent it to me and I'm like, yeah, but nobody, like, one, you didn't do it for them for free. And two, they didn't ask you, they don't even know you. Like, so, and I don't even understand. The last thing is, I don't understand why people would hate on something that's not even happening to them. Like, it's like, It's crazy. But the guy I think you're talking about, I don't know, you're either talking about Alex or Brian, or you're talking about Brad, or you're talking about, like, who are you talking about?
Well, I wasn't even going to drop names, but I've got friends of mine, Ray and others that have
Yeah.
done, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And those guys didn't spend money because it didn't work for them. They invested money, which all you guys should do, by the way. If you guys aren't part of Empire Builders and you're not like tapping into that every week, man, that's how you make something worthwhile.
yeah,
And I'll also say that I have spent tens of millions of dollars. The other thing funny that listening to these guys is the guy said, I would do that for free. I would advise you on your business for free. And I'm thinking to myself, I have never, ever asked anybody to do anything for me for free, ever, ever. I bought $5 billion worth of real estate. I've been on real estate deals where we got close on price, but we couldn't pull the deal together. And the broker's like, I'll throw my fee in. And I'm like, you won't throw it in for me. I will never, ever let anybody like do something for me and be out exchange of sorts. I want to pay my money. And then because I feel like when I pay my money, I'm much more committed, and like I would rather pay somebody more than pay
sure,
them less.
sure,
Because if I pay you more, a billionaire taught me this trick, by the way. He's like, if you pay somebody more, man, you're going to get better service from them.
yeah. Well,
You're
look, I
going to
mean,
pay. Yeah,
exactly what you're saying. People don't value what they don't buy themselves. You give a kid a
yeah,
bike, he throws it down. The
yeah,
kid saves his money and buys himself a bike. He's the kickstand, and he
yeah,
polishes the chrome on it, right? So,
100%.
it's funny because, when you're talking about the Empire Builders Vault, I've got thousands of dollars of network marketing training programs that people can get in behind the curtain for 49 bucks a month and be able to get access to training on how to prospect and top recruiter secrets and how to build a massive team. I built a team of 400,000 people. It doesn't happen by chance. There's
Yeah.
there's method to the madness there. How to become a leader in the network marketing industry, and all the stuff that's back there. And some people are like, yeah, but I don't want to spend 49 bucks a month. But then they want to go spend 5 years of their life beating their head against the wall, failing their, I'm failing forward. Well, you haven't gone forward. You failed for 5 straight years. Why don't you just come off 50 bucks a month and go learn how to cut your learning curve down and go out there and actually make
But
success happen?
you just probably need to change. You need to change the price to 4,900 a month, and then you'll get the right people.
And that's what's that you and you're right. You're not the first person that told me it's too cheap. People think there's no value behind it. So,
Yeah.
and what I was going to do at the end. I might as well do it now and get out of the way. I was going to tell everybody, if you go to empirebuildersvault.com and you use my code vault39, I'm going to give it to you for $39 tonight instead of 49 bucks. So here I'm taking the opposite advice. I'm not.
Yeah. You need to, after tonight, let's see, it's 8:15. So at 9 o'clock, you should end that. And at 9:01, you should change the price to 5,000 and just let me sell
It's the deal. We'll talk about that. So, all right, let's talk about, look, again, I think a lot of things come down in people's lives, whatever they want to achieve, whatever they want to excel in. I think it comes down to a main word, which is focus. Because with all the craziness going on in the world and in people's lives, somebody in their family is probably sick. They got kids that are in sports. They got school getting ready to start. Like you got two daughters. I see you doing all kinds of things with your daughters. We all have things that we spend our time on, and we all have 24 hours in a day. So when I read things like the 10X rule, and some of the stuff that you teach, I think everybody can really benefit from a dose of coaching on how to get focused right now. Like when you open up your iPhone and the screen time app pops up with a notification, and you're like, holy shit, I've been on my phone screen for 8 hours today. And then you can scroll down and you can say, oh, how much was it on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on emails? Like, how much income producing activity were we doing on that screen? So can you talk to focus a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm a very very focused individual, like, because I have been not focused in my life, and I know what it got me. Like either way, you're going to pay a price. And at some point, you got to figure out what price you want to pay. So I don't mind being punished as long as it's for short periods of time. And I do know that I'm going to be punished. Like I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't ask God for anything. And I think because I believe that my understanding is I've already been given everything I need and the rest is now up to me. So I'm not going to stop and say, bro, can you help me can you help me get a deal, a job? Can you help me build my team? Like even if you ask God, he's not going to answer you the way you want it. Like it's not, if you ask for courage, he's going to give you fear. And if you ask for strength, he's going to try to break you. He's going to put you to the breaking point. He's going to give you something to pick up that's heavier than you can pick up. And that's how this game works on planet Earth. Like, so the focus thing is, what are you going to focus on? Because everyone is focused. Okay. There's no learning disabilities. There's no ADD. There's no ADHD. These are labels for excuses. And so I remember I've been labeled ADD, ADHD. By the way, I'm sensitive to all that stuff. I understand you might have a kid that was told something by their teacher. Your kid does not have an attention problem. Your kid is desiring to have attention for something. And that's the problem. Okay. It could be a game. It could be Xbox, or it could be a PlayStation, or it could be Instagram. It could be Grant Cardone. He could run into me on YouTube and all of a sudden become fascinated with making money. Or it could become art, so you just got to decide, what are you going to be focused on? What are you going to be obsessed with? God told me that I had a chemical imbalance and that I was an obsessive compulsive. I'm like, yeah, dude, more people need to have what I got, because once I latch onto something, bro, it's over. And now, how do you do that? The way you do that is you have to first get rid of stuff. So the first thing to do is to decide in everything in life. If I want to go a direction, I have to decide on a bunch of directions not to go. Like life is choices, right? And most of it is, what am I not going to do? So I think everybody has focus. I don't believe people are not focused. I don't believe people are lazy. You guys in the chat, maybe you'll disagree with me, or in the questions, you might say I don't know if you can open the chat, dude. The chat gets freaking crazy when you open it up, Brian. It's awesome.
Yeah. I'll see if we can get somebody to do that.
You hate the
Crazy.
chat? I love chat, man. I love chat because I like seeing people like interact, because you get all this data from them about how they think, right? But what I was saying was, success is really about deciding what you're not going to do. And like, I'm not going to fail. I cannot fail. Like I just cannot live with myself as a failure. And this idea that I'm lazy or you're lazy. No, you're not lazy. If you knew for sure, if the audience knew right now for sure that the network marketing company you're involved in, if you spent the next 10 months punishing yourself and you'd become a billionaire in 10 months, you would not even talk about the concept of rejection. It would not be even, I'm tired. You would not even care, dude. Like nobody would even, none of this stuff, the excuses would not be there because the payoff is so enormous. So I think the biggest problem when I got turned on to this concept that, oh, my payoffs just weren't big enough. And if you guys could figure out payoffs that are so big, and unfortunately, the society we live in today suggests that you guys should lower your expectations. You should expect less from yourself, take baby steps. I'm just telling you, man, like you guys are going to quit taking baby steps because it's extremely tiring taking baby steps.
I always tell people in network marketing, success loves speed. Network marketing is a momentum business. You got to do it fast. People say it's the tortoise or the hare. It's not a race. It is. Because if you're the tortoise and you're just drudging along, you're going to get stuck in some mud pit somewhere and nobody's ever going to see you again. The hare, you got to be fast.
It's the tortoise and the hare to be the millionaire, and it is. You got to be the tortoise and the hare. There is no, like if you're an extremely patient person and you don't respond to me when I'm interested, then you're not, the hare wins that deal.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be great. I've never been great at anything. Like I've never ever, as much brashness as I have and promotion as I do, I have never said Grant Cardone is the greatest. But I don't even talk about Grant Cardone works hard. I remember Gary Vaynerchuk told me, sat in my office and said, I work harder than you. I'm like, okay, we just met. How would you know? Like, because people that are actually working hard aren't talking about it.
Yeah.
They're just working hard. Okay. And hard work does not pay you, folks, just so you guys know. You can work hard. If you're in the wrong vehicle, it's not going to pay you anything.
Yeah, that used to be the big hallmark, like the badge of honor. I am the hardest working person I know. I'm working 70 hours a week. Nobody works harder than me. I'm like, why brag about that?
Yeah, that ain't bragging,
I would,
bro.
I would only be doing it for a season because I always said I'm ambitiously lazy. I'm willing to work my butt off really, really hard, outwork everybody for a season of time so I can do whatever I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about belief earlier. You said that if the price was if the juice was worth the squeeze, like if you're going to
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
billionaire in 10 months, then excuses go out the window and you do whatever you got to do. I think that comes down to belief. If people get into network marketing, for example, they must not believe that the dream lifestyle that they really want is at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah,
If they're
because the problem with network marketing and a lot of entries, the entry is the problem in my mind. The guy that pitched you the deal said, "Hey, you can make an extra $500," and you went for it. And you're like, "Okay, that's cool," because $500 does change things for a lot of people. The problem is it doesn't change things forever. And so I would just tell you the super successful are not looking for another 500. They're looking to change the quality of life. That's why immigrants come to this country and do so well. They're not looking for 500, bro. They're coming here. The impetus to come here, first of all, to get out of the hellhole they were in. There's people going to Dubai right now that'll make $25 a week and think that they're in heaven. We watch them and be like, "Oh, they're being abused, they're slaves," but they think they're in heaven because they're able to send $24 back to Ethiopia to their parents. So it's you guys got to find the thing. The thing. There's got to be a thing. You got to figure out what the thing is that will change your life enough to be like, "I'm not going to sleep. I don't care about food. I don't care about sex. I literally am willing to punish myself for a short period of time." Like for me, it was 5 years. I said, "I'm gonna punish myself for 5 years so that I can live 50 years however I want."
Yeah, I love it. You know, one of my mentors, Paul J. Meyer, who passed away over a decade ago, but he was also he was a billionaire. He's a grandfather to the whole personal development industry, authored and sold over $2 billion of his own books and training programs.
Wow.
And he had a little booklet that he gave me years ago, a little booklet the size of my making my first 10 million and your millionaire booklet. And that's where I got the concept of making my little booklet because he gave me one that's called That's Something. And the story in That Something was you've got to find that something in your life that you're willing to lose sleep for. You're willing to say no to everything else for. You're willing to
Yeah.
scheme and dream and plan and you know you got to be exercising your no muscle all the time. You said
Yeah.
it before. It's not about saying
And it's
yes.
never your job, guys. So just so you know, it's not the job. The vehicle, the job is a vehicle. You know, when I was growing up, and it's all this misinformation too. This is why I said you guys got to decide what you're going to get rid of. You know, you can't become a new you holding on to the old you. So there's a lot of stuff that we're taught by brothers, sisters, moms, dads, people you love, you know, like your survival depended upon them. But, you know, much of that is not going to get you to the next place. The people that you know now are probably not going to take you to where you want to go. At least that hasn't happened for me. It's always been new people that took me to the next level. And so this idea that there was the journey, you know, I've heard a lot of people say this, man, the journey is the thing. And it is, dude. The journey is super cool. It's not the destination. It's a great Hallmark card, like, but I'm gonna tell you, you ain't gonna make a destination worth it if you focused on the journey. Like you have to focus on the destination, otherwise you're not gonna get there. You're gonna get lost in the journey.
Yeah.
So it's only the super successful that say, it's when they got to the end. Steve Jobs said this, like every super successful person says, "Pay attention to the journey, Grant." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, but you're on the other side now. I just saw your freaking bank account. I was on the phone with a guy yesterday. He said, "Grant, by the end of the year, I'll be worth $12 billion. Now he's talking to me. He will never talk to anybody else like this. Okay. He would never brag about this. He's literally giddy. Okay. And I was with him 3 months ago. He was at my conference. He was worth $2 billion. He says, "I'm gonna be worth $4 billion," and he hit it. Then he went to 8 all this year. This all happened this year, by the way. This guy was selling freaking cookies when he was a kid, and calls me on the phone, like out of his mind, giddy. Well, he's a guy that would tell you, man, pay attention to the journey. But if it was not for the destination, okay, he's focused on the destination. So guys, these sayings are cool and everything, but you have to have a destination that gets you a journey worth talking about. Because if he didn't have that story to tell, I wouldn't have it to pass on to you guys and to have for myself. Because me just having a cool journey without a destination is kind of not a story.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a run-on sentence. I would, as you're talking, I'm thinking about the things that I've heard and I hear people teaching, and they say you've got to enjoy the journey, and you never really fail unless you don't learn lessons from failing or stumbling and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel like people are convincing themselves, people who have not gotten to where they want to be, people that are not really happy, are trying to sell themselves on being happy with what you got.
Yeah.
And when your mom or dad or your friends are like, stop wanting so much, stop trying to just be happy with what you got. And Grant, I've shared this analogy. You met my wife Melissa when you spoke at a conference for us years back. You told her that she needs to find a husband that's making more money. So I had to go out and make some more money. But I'm like, picture this.
How much were you making? How much were you making then?
$1 million a year.
Uh-huh. And what did I say to you? So everybody here understands this.
You said you need to be making $5 million a year if you're going to keep her attention, pretty much. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll get it done. But anyway, so we laughed about it. People are like, ooh, that was a bird. I'm like, Grant's saying it to make a point. Like, if you can make $1 million, you can make 5. If you can make 5, you can make 50. It's like
100%.
I don't want to be content, and that's your point.
Yeah.
And some people that don't get that, they just don't get that.
Yeah.
So picture this. Picture walking into your condo. You got properties everywhere. Well, you walk into one of your condos and you overhear Elena talking to her friend on the phone. And she says, yeah, I know I settled with Grant, but I'm just trying to be happy. Well, that would devastate you. Like, people are like, oh, just be happy with what you got. If anybody listening walked in on their spouse, man or woman, walked in on their spouse and snuck and listened to what they said, and they said, yeah, I know I settled with my partner or my spouse or whatever, you'd be heartbroken. Like, nobody should be settling. Stop settling for mediocrity. If you're made, God put greatness in you and you're made to be making millions a year, don't settle for 80 grand a year. You know, your wife or husband shouldn't settle for you. They should be excited about being with you. So your career, don't settle for a job. If you're not fulfilled at your job, get the heck out of that job. Now, I'm not saying go cold turkey. Like, I always teach people, start a side business, ramp it up. Like Jim Rohn always said it best. You work hard all day at your job to earn a living, but you should be working spare time, nights or weekends, building your fortune. So go do that. And you said in 5 years, your fortune's being built. You cut rid of the job, say goodbye to the boss forever. And now you're not settling. You're living out your potential.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Grant.
I don't know if you ever say no to the boss though, because, you know, like, there's always going to be a boss, guys. Like, there's always a boss. You know, there's always somebody to bow to and to take a knee to. And, like, you know, we live in America, where I expect most of your audience is from America, and it's the land of the brave and the home of the free. But, you know, the truth is, if you look around, there ain't a lot of brave and there ain't a lot of free. So, you know, I want to be brave and I want to be free. And that only comes to me if if you sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil and say, hey, what does it take to be brave, really? Because it's not something inside, it's something you did. You know, to be brave means I have to do something. Otherwise, it wasn't brave. It was a concept. And to be free, I need to have things. I need transportation. I need friends. I need people to know me. I need money. I need more than one account. I need income coming from many, many sources, not a couple. I need to be able to travel the world, because you could be free in Indiana and go down to Miami and not be able to get a room. Well, you ain't free. So like I need connections everywhere. That's the beautiful thing about multi-level marketing. And I've always said this, man, if like everyone should be involved in multi-level marketing because of the immediate network that you get and access to people that want to do something. And so you guys got to make a decision. Like, what do you want? Okay, then it's
and what you were just saying about network marketing. Tell me if you agree with this. I don't know another model where there's a true, genuine alignment of interest. See, if I wanted to go get mentorship, let's say you and I are not friends, and I wanted to reach out, I wanted to pick your brain about something, it's going to cost me, and it should. It's going to cost me a lot of money to get access to a mentor like you. If I wanted to learn how to sing or play the piano, I need to go find John Legend. It's going to cost me $300,000 for him to step foot in a room to sing a couple songs. That's why I priced it out. That's what it costs.
yeah.
So mentorship is very expensive and not accessible for most people. But you get into network marketing, and you got people above you in the company who the company pays to mentor you. The more money that your mentors help you to make, the more the mentor's paid by the company. It's a true alignment of interest. So if we were in real estate, I know you and Elaine are involved in the real estate world, right? Not just as an investor, but also with building the brokerage side.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a top producer in that real estate company, why would I tell anybody else my secret sauce? They go out and scoop up my market share. But you get involved in a rev share model, a network marketing model in real estate. I just did a keynote for EXP just a few months ago, so I'm very familiar with that company. And the bottom line is, the company would pay me to teach all the other agents how to go out there and attract business. So that's why I love that.
Yeah,
Model.
it's a beautiful model. It's everybody wins when you win, right? It's not, is there competition inside the model? Only if you get this, oh, he did more than he only did more than you because he did more than you. I mean, like, period. That's the end of the story. So did he get lucky? Hope so. I hope you guys get lucky over and over, but you're not going to get lucky if you don't show up. And even if you get lucky once, the rest is going to be work. So it's like, look, the whole game's unfair. Everything about life is an unfair thing. Okay. You get born, you have all the enthusiasm in the world, you know nothing, you have all this energy. And by the time you have any wisdom, then you don't have the energy. So there's a lot of things that are unfair. It's like, okay, in between now and the end, whatever your end is, how do you guys want to live? You know, those dream boards are real, man. I'm telling you, like, anything you can envision, anything you can lock in on mentally and take a picture of, post a picture of, have images of, surround yourself with, like this whole law of attraction concept. If I can think about it enough, I'm going to get it. There's something phenomenal about, you know, if I think that there's going to be drama and problems, I'm going to attract it. And if I think there's going to be wealth and prosperity, I'm going to attract that. Now it depends on whether I'm going to be happy or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of you guys are tracking happy and you ain't getting it. You're getting happy, you're getting unhappy and broke. So that's the psychiatrists are selling the happy thing. They're selling the happy pill because they want you on the pills. Because, you know, like if you literally could Google search motivation and within 24 hours, you're going to be served something on depression. You're going to have the psychiatric community serving you something that says you shouldn't you shouldn't want motivation. You should be satisfied where you're at. If you guys are not satisfied, it's because you're around a bunch of people that are not satisfied and want to do better. And that is the gift, you know, to figure out, because then I'm trying to figure out my puzzle. You know, so if you've ever done a puzzle, once you finish the puzzle, you're not going to sit and look at it. Game's over.
Yep.
You're like, let's go do another puzzle.
So let me got a couple topics I want to you know, pull apart with you. I was doing a training last night for my team in our company, and I talked about how your vibe attracts your tribe. We're in a people attraction business. Whether you're in network marketing or you're trying to grow a company, you need to attract and retain good employees. It's all about attracting and keeping good people around you. Very little is done, you know, in a vacuum by yourself. So, you know, energy, posture, positive expectations. You know, can you share a few minutes on like when I watch you, you've got super confidence. Your posture's always strong, regardless of the topic you're talking about. You exude belief in what you're sharing. And so, in a people attraction business, people look at me and like, Brian, of course you've made $25 million in your business, so of course you've got posture. And I try to tell people I
Well,
had the posture, which is why I made the 25 million. You don't make the money and then you get posture. You get posture and then the
yeah,
money comes.
but Brian, it does help, okay? Like, because if you measured your posture before the 25,000, the first 25 and the first 250 and the first 2 million, the first, dude, the moment it became consistent, your posture, you grew.
For sure.
Like,
For
people
sure.
say, Grant, man, why do you look like you're getting younger? No, I'm getting richer. Okay. Money matters. I'm telling you guys, I know this sounds obnoxious and terrible. It sounds bougie and like awful. Money matters. Okay. No rich people will tell you this. Okay. Money matters. Having a lot of money matters. Okay. Having more money matters. Like, I don't know how to tell you guys this. Like, there's $2 trillion was blown today in the stock market, just in
Yep.
the United States stock market. Now, most of you do not know what $2 trillion is, what it buys, how big is it's just a big number to you, but you should know that, because at the end of the day, everything you want has a price, a financial price. And I'm telling you, confidence comes with money. Okay. You're never going to see a billionaire that's lacking confidence. They may be insecure. They might have they're going to have some weird kind of, it doesn't mean they're perfect people, but they're back, they got $1 billion. So it's a big giant cushion, man. And so it's a place you can kind of fall back to. Money matters. And too many people in multi-level marketing and in business want to suggest that the money doesn't matter, but it does matter. It
So,
matters.
so the point I'm looking.
Let me just finish with
Yeah.
this. It builds confidence to have it,
Yep.
okay? Because the real particularly if it's not me giving you money that gives you confidence.
Earning it.
Like it's me doing it, and
Yeah.
because the doingness
Yep.
gets confidence. One, I got the money, but if I'm able to keep the money, then I build a second level of confidence. Most people cannot do number two. They
Yep.
get it and they lose it, and now they actually feel worse about themselves. But the third one is, if you can get money, keep it, and then three, multiply it, make it start having babies, then you're like, okay, I got a dog in me, man. Like,
Yeah.
I can survive anywhere.
Yep.
So that's why when I did that show, Undercover Billionaire, dude, I knew for sure I could do that deal. They said, you have to shave your head like Brian Carruthers. You have to go to Pueblo. You're going to have $100, no place to live, no food, no water. Can you do it? I said, I guarantee you I can do it. I know for sure I can do it. And they're like, how are you this confident? And I'm like, well, because I've done it.
Yeah.
And I've done it from scratch, and I did it by myself, and I did it without social media, and I've done it in a bunch of verticals. And once you do something enough times, I've been through the rejection, man.
Yeah.
You guys that don't like rejection is because you ain't been through enough of it.
Yep.
That's why if you don't like disappointment and discouragement, it's only because you haven't had enough yet. So go get some more of everything that you don't like. Go eat some more of it.
Yeah. And there's always another door. If you can't get into the front door of the club, go through the back door. If you can't get to the back door, the security guard there, go through the kitchen window. There's always a third door. And I've heard this before. It's not about making $1 million. It's the person you had to become to make that million. So don't go make the money for the money. Go make the money for the person you had to become to make the money. And then when you got the money, like Grant's talking about, now your confidence is 10x. Yes, I did have confidence at the beginning. I wouldn't have had success without having some confidence.
Yeah, that's right.
It is much larger now because of the success in the bank account, for sure. I can't
Yeah,
debate that at all. But
yeah.
at the beginning, what do you say to somebody who's at the beginning and they're feeble and they're doubtful? I mean, their energy and their posture and their
Well,
expectation.
what would I tell them? I would tell them, because you started about recruiting people and getting around people, but what I would tell them, bro, you either want it or if you don't want it, don't spend time with me. Like, I'm moving on. You have 400,000 people on your team. You've probably been through 1 million, but we're not talking about the 600,000 that quit. Could have been more than 600,000, right?
No, we've had 400,000, of which tens of thousands are still here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. That's what I mean. But
Yeah.
you got 10,000 here. Who cares about the 390 that quit? Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Right.
So you don't win a battle without people dying.
Yeah. And the
Like,
funny thing is, people look at network marketing and say it doesn't work because of those 390,000. No, those are 390,000 people that quit and moved on for whatever the reasons are.
yeah.
They
Guys, I
that's what
was
people
in
do.
New Skin. I was in New Skin and I was 26 years old. I signed up 300 people like in 90 days. Okay. We were rocking. And then there was this bad publicity about New Skin. This is early on, dude. This is company can't be more than 3 or 4 years old, right? And when this thing blew up, I had a job, it blew up. I didn't know how to handle it. So I just let it go. And dude, if I would have stayed in, I would be one of the richest multi-level marketing people in the world today because I was early in the company and I knew how to grow it. You grow it by growing it. You don't grow it by looking for all the great people. The thing about recruiting people is you got to be willing to recruit people and lose people, recruit people and lose people. Like you want to make people as good as they can be, but people have to want that.
Yeah.
That's why when Brian offers you guys empire builders at any number, whatever it is, $300 a month or $1,000 a month, it's up to you to decide what it's going to be worth. The fact that he's only charging you guys $39 is just, he's probably just putting a penance there just to see if you're actually even serious because it can't be about the money. So not for him, right? But there needs to be a gateway for everybody. There's a price to pay. Are you willing to die? No, probably not. No, most people don't. But everybody wants to go to heaven.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool test. Are you willing to spend $39 a month to get access to the info? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Are you willing to go through some of the trainings? Yes or no? Okay. Yes. Great. Are you willing to implement on a consistent basis what you're learning there? Yes or no? You got to go yes, yes, yes. You got to go get through gateways to get to success. And a lot of people are just not willing to do that. So I want to get to the money part. So this is not, there's people can go get the vault, the Empire Builders Vault, and they can go learn how to go out and build a business like I do in my industry. But let's talk about the general money thing. I want to make a point, and then I want to shift to you because your wallet is 100 times more than mine. So
I don't have a wallet. I've never had a wallet. I don't.
Your virtual your wealth meter is your needle's off the chart. So one of the things I've been sharing.
What is the code again? By the way, people keep asking. What is the
Vault 39?
Yeah, but what is there a code or no? What's the website?
Empirebuildersvault.com.
Empirebuildersvault.com. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So you're hired. So here's the thing. I shared this on a stage at the A&MP event in Dallas a few months ago. I believe that if people see, Grant, I wrote this book. I don't know if I had this when I first met you at your office in Miami way back when, but I wrote this book because I saw so many people that got into my industry of network marketing. They started making all this extra money, but at the end of the year, they had nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
They were just churn and burn and churn and burn and churn and burn. I had a friend of mine, a great friend of mine. He was making a couple $100,000 a year, and he bought a Lamborghini. I'm like, you just don't do that. You're not ready for that yet. So I wrote the book to teach people about the money mindset, the wealth building mindset. You got to go from servicing debt to not work. Don't work to pay your bills. Work to build your wealth. Net worth is more important than net income. And so in here, I teach people about the mindset of starting with the end game in mind. And if you know what you're going to do with the money before you make it, you're going to be more motivated to go out there and make the money. As an example, if you're making $6,000 a month and your bills are $5,000, you make the $6,000, you pay the $5,000, you blow the extra $1,000 because in your mind it was extra. All you cared about all month long was paying your $5,000 in bills. Yeah. But if you go into the month making the $6,000, knowing that you're going to have $1,000 you're going to be able to use to deploy and have that money go out into the world and come back with friends. Like your money, your investments are going to be what's going to make you rich. And at the end of every year, if your net worth is growing, you're going to stay on that path. I see people in network marketing. I've had people say, Brian, I've been in network marketing for 10 years and I have not gained any ground. I said, you did the same year 10 times. You've not grown in those 10 years. You didn't have a plan to actually go out and pull money in the front door and deploy it out the back door, making money for you. You're spending it out the back door, not investing it. So in the book here, and you know this very well, I've got a chart talking about the rule of 72, 10% return compounded over over 7 years. You double your money every 7 years. If you just you put your money in a S&P index fund, or whether it's real estate. We'll talk about real estate and stocks and your thoughts on that in a second. But if you got a 10% compounded return, you double your money every 7 years. So in network marketing, here's what I love. I can take somebody who's, let's just call him, we call him an average person. It's just somebody who does not have.
You mean everybody?
Anybody, right? So anybody can get in, and I can show them, if you got into a side business and you're making an extra $600 a month that you're going to dedicate toward investing instead of blowing. Okay, you blow your money if you want to keep on doing what you've been doing with your job, your salary, but an extra $600 a month in 10 years at 10% compounded, that's 124,000. In 20 years, 460,000. In 30 years, 1.3 million. In 40 years, 3.8 million. I said, if you want to get more ambitious, go out and make an extra $3,000 a month, which anybody can do in network marketing if they put their mind to it. At $3,000 a month, $100 a day. In 10 years, that's 619,000. In 20 years is 2.3 million. In 30 years is $6.8 million. So I tell people, you don't have to make $1 million a year to become a millionaire. You can make an extra few thousand a month and do the right things with your money. So my point is, if people understand that, they buy into it, they make that their North Star, and they're working towards making the money. Look, I can show you. See all this right here? I love sports cards. Like I've spent $1.8 million in the last few years on buying baseball, football, basketball cards. I'm an addict. I love it. It's a collecting thing. It's an investing thing, blah, blah, blah. But when I was a kid, I was in cards. So it's nostalgic getting back into it with my son now. When I was 12, 13, 14 years old, and I was became a baseball card dealer, I was setting up at shows and all that, I would rake leaves, shovel driveways, cut lawns, wash cars, sell steamed crabs door to door at the beach to make money to be able to invest in my card inventory. Like, you got to be willing to go out and do what you got to do to get the money, the seed that you're going to plant. So let's talk about that. I've made well into the 8 figures in the stock market. A lot of people know me. I've shared this publicly before, but I got 60,000 shares of Apple. Now, before, back on Thursday, it was worth 12 million. Now it's worth 10. But at the end of the day, I've done well in the stock market. I've also come from a real estate family. We had a 34 office real estate company across Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Prudential Carruthers Realtors says that's where I came from. I understand real estate, mostly the brokerage side, the investing side a little bit. I've never done multifamily. I sent you 2 checks because you know way more about multifamily investing than I do, and I don't want to go manage hundreds of doors. But I can give a guy like you my money, and you can go out there and build a portfolio of thousands of doors that I can participate in and still get the tax advantages and the upside potential. So not that this is a pitch, but more so, I can't teach what I don't know. I can teach people how to put money into an S&P index fund. I can teach people some of the basic stuff that I've done, but maybe you can share.
Well,
I would tell people, in the last 3 years.
I would tell people in the room, like, I would use multi-level marketing a little differently. I would use my main job to pay my bills. I would never ever spend my earned income ever. Like, this is my wealth. I've been seeking wealth, financial wealth. I've been very vocal and transparent. One thing I've been seeking the whole time was financial wealth. Now, do I want to help people? 100%. I'm a natural helper, educator. I'm a twin, identical twin. So when you're a twin, you want to help because you're born with another individual. You're
At
not
the 10X Growth Con a few years ago in Vegas, I was walking next to your brother, and I was wondering why you're being rude to me and not saying hi.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, what an asshole. And so I have a natural inclination to want to say, hey, Gary, let me show you something. And he has it too, by the way. So now, that being said, my dad died when I was 10. He was an average guy, worked really hard, actually was exceptional for the family he grew up with, which were a bunch of shipbuilders out of Italy. And he was the first to build a middle-class family in this country. He died when he was 52 though, not his fault, but he died. Then the income stopped. And I realized at that moment, at 10 years old, I learned that the middle class is not all it was made out to be. The middle class is only as good as you can work it. And so number one, I would never spend my earned income to take care of my lifestyle ever. I would have a very basic lifestyle if I was giving advice to people financially. Minimum, I'm talking about minimum rent, food, water. You're not going out, you're not getting drinks, you're not having fun. The kids don't get shoes. I'm not even talking about like nothing. I'm talking about basic. And if you guys saw Undercover Billionaire, you saw how I lived. I just basically went back to what I would do if I was at zero. Any money above my basic, if I earned it, I would put it into an investment and stay broke. So unfortunately, people have a job, they've got a job making them 4 or 5,000. They get a bonus or a commission, or they're getting multi-level marketing, making extra thousand. They think they're supposed to spend the money.
Yep.
No, you're supposed to invest the money.
Yep.
You should take all your extra income should be invested so that it brings you back to broke again, because broke is what got you the second income in the first place. Okay. So it's like, you don't get second income so that you spend more money and end up broke, because you just ended up with a bunch of junk. So I've been doing this for 25 years. I mean, like, the amount of money that I make today is unbelievable to me. Like, I'm like so grateful, but I did change things from what my parents did and my uncle. All these people were very successful in their own right, but they have done, like, I have morphed my entire, everybody that ever had my name. I have morphed financially what all those people did. I'm talking about generations of families, by changing the policies. Okay. And which is take earned income, any earned income, use your basic living, anything above that, you invest it. You do not invest it in the stock market. Okay. I missed Apple. I'm not going to get Apple because I'm not an insider. Because I don't, this is just me, guys, for me. Okay. I'm not going to invest in the stock market. I'm not going to trade paper for paper. I want to trade paper for something better. And I don't want to be dependent upon some trickster on Wall Street doing the right thing, because I don't trust any of those people. They take limos to work. Somebody's paying for that. And which is fine. I don't mind that, but I don't understand the game. I'm not an insider. So real estate became the vehicle for me, Brian, as you know. Anytime I earned extra money, I made the new skin money. I took all my new skin money, bro, and threw it into real estate. Okay. And if I didn't have real estate to buy, I found somebody I could invest in real estate, because the real estate paid every month and I could go check on it. And I really believe that we're in right now the greatest real estate correction cycle that I've been in my lifetime. And we saw that part of that happen in the stock market today. And when this stock market thing gets routed out some more, I don't know if you know this, but there was 6 or 7 exchanges, Fidelity, Schwab.
You couldn't make a trade today. Yeah.
Vanguard, they didn't trade. Like, why not? Why didn't it trade? The institutions didn't have a problem trading, by the way, none of them. But those 6 did, which are about $14 trillion worth of assets under management, to calm down America's trading, to keep whatever happened today maybe to be not the problem. My point is, it's being manipulated, and I think most people agree with that, as well as our elections and our borders and our country and the messaging and Google search and all that is being manipulated today.
Yeah.
And so if you don't want to be manipulated, if you feel like you're part of a rigged system, guys, then you need to pay attention to that. This is where I started tonight, and this is probably where I'll end, but you need to figure out, hey, I'm being manipulated. America is on a manipulation now. The banking's against you. The credit card companies are against you. The education system sucks. It's not working. The food system's probably corrupt. I'm just saying all that to say, bro, there ain't but one thing gonna get you out of that: money.
Yep.
And if the vehicle you're in will get you out of that, use that vehicle to get to that next destination, and don't blow it on the way. Every time you get a bag, go park it somewhere where you know, I cannot lose money here.
Yeah.
I've been buying real estate for 35 years. I have never lost money in real estate, ever. I'm never over leveraged. I buy great real estate. I buy great locations. I've been through 4 major recessions, 2 big busts. And as long as you buy it in the right place, it's going to take care of you. And it's not something I have to work on every day. So it doesn't distract you from your main job and your multi-level marketing job, which ultimately one day should be your main job.
Let me put a pin in that. I have to stress what he just said. I've seen a lot of people in my industry. I've been full-time for 25 years, got a lot of friends all over the world in this game, network marketing, all these entrepreneurs. You know what I saw is when the crypto market started popping like crazy over the last several years, all these guys took their eye off the ball, off their cash cow. They started making all this free, easy money because their crypto coin, Jubu Dubu, whatever, started going through the roof.
Yeah.
And they were making this money for doing nothing. And then their business that gave them the capital to invest in that stuff in the first place, they let their business die. Then the crypto market caved in a little bit. They go back to their cash cow and they're trying to resuscitate it, putting the panels, trying to shock it back to life.
Yeah.
But it was already gone because they took their eye off the ball. So whether it's crypto, the stock market, I'll be honest with you guys. Let me just be very transparent with you. I've been an investor in the stock market since 2001, and it is consuming. You got to watch what's going on. You can't just set it and forget it. You know, Warren Buffett just unloaded half of his Apple position in the second quarter of this year. It just made the news. I just saw it this morning. You know, you got to watch what's going on. I'm not liquidating Apple, but at the end of the day, with my real estate properties, I just collect rent, and I have somebody that will go out and fix a toilet if it needs to be fixed. I got it managed, but Grant's right. I mean, I believe that the real estate model, with all the upside, with the
Because you don't look at it, because you can't the stock market loses $2 trillion today. I don't go see if my real estate's still there. I know it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay. When you guys own Bitcoin and you're diversified, this other thing, this concept of diversification, you guys shouldn't be diversified. You should be focused. This is what Brian brought up earlier. You should be very focused. Right? When you own Bitcoin, you're going to go to your phone and look at it. When you own Apple, you're going to go see what it did today. I remember the day traders back in the 2000s when the internet busted. So, guys, you got to focus. Pick something and make it work. Do not have a plan B. Okay? You could end up with a second flow or third flow, but don't have an A, B plan. Have an A plan or B plan or C plan. Have one plan and make it work.
And burn your ships.
And burn your ships, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like I've said no to so many things in my life. Okay, so many things. The Bitcoin I own today, somebody gave me for a speaking gig, and it's probably worth $5 million because I got it and I never got rid of it.
Yeah.
But I own no stock. Okay, the only stock I will buy is if I know the guy that owns and runs the company. If I have access to him, I'll do it. Other than that, I don't want the distraction. Now, I could have made who knows how many millions being an Apple, but I could say that about NVIDIA. Then I'd have to say it about Chipotle. And then I could, and then, oh man, I should have bought Alibaba on the Chinese stock exchange because it's at $72 today and it was at 250. But I'm in another business now. I don't have that much attention. I got two children that I love. I got my wife, my marriage, man. Marriage is a lot of work to keep it working. Like my health, I got to take care of my health, my kids, my wife, my marriage, my business, at some point you got to say no. And that's where I started tonight. If you want to be successful, make a list of stuff that you're willing to say no to for just 10 months. Get on Empire Builders for the next 10 months, dedicated, and then make a list of other stuff. You're like, I'm not doing Netflix. I'm not doing pornography. Okay, maybe you can only go 10 hours. I don't know. Just try it 10 hours at a time. I'm not doing alcohol. I'm not doing drugs, whatever. The whole list of stuff that's taking energy. You don't need to have an alcohol problem to have a headache one day that keeps you from making the presentation that you need to make. Like alcohol is not a problem until it distracts you. Coffee could be a distraction because you got to urinate. Like make a list of stuff that distracts you from adding and building and growing your business.
You talk about that. Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness movie, he was auditioning to get that job at the stock firm, and he was making the phone calls and he didn't even put it down. He just kept it by his ear and hung up and dialed. And he said he didn't drink water because he didn't want to take a bathroom break.
That's
so he
right.
can get the job. And it's very true. Focus is everything. I'm glad we finished on where we started. Focus, 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 focus on the right thing. Focus on the right vehicle. If you're focused on the wrong thing, then when you get to the end of the road, it's not where you wanted to get to. You can't go get that time back. You can't reclaim the road. It's like the water, the water's under the bridge is gone. So
What is
I
that
feel that
website? What's that website again, Brian?
empirebuildersvault.com and Vault
Empire
39.
Builders. Okay, because you guys, in about 3 minutes, he's going to take that offer down he gave you. Okay. He said he was going to do this for $39. Empire Builders
Vault
Vault.com.
and Vault 39 is the code. Definitely get in there. Let me be
Just
your awesome mentor.
Commit for 10 months, guys. Just 10 months. 10, you know what? Just take the 10 months off. Do September, October, November, December. 4 months. Commit for 4 months and see what happens for the next 4 months.
4 months of pain for a lifetime of gain. I totally believe it. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't be telling anybody to do it if I don't believe that. Grant, look, time is more precious than money. I know money is very precious, but you got tons of money and you gave an hour of your life that you're never going to get back. But I believe that the seeds that you planted in these good people on here tonight, lives could be changed. I think some lives will be changed. Somebody's going to act on what you gave them tonight. You just gave them the
Yeah,
breath of
100%.
hope. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of everybody that's muted out and can't speak right now. I just want to say thank you for being
Yeah,
on here,
dude.
being a good
The
friend.
next time we do this, you got to have your chat live. Okay. Come on, man.
I will. Are you available tomorrow night? No, we'll do it. We'll do it again. I'll get
Yeah.
the Zoom thing all figured out next time for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Appreciate you, Brian. You guys,
Appreciate
God
it.
bless you guys and be great.
Good night, guys.